knew this day would come when I'd have to talk about this. I cannot believe I'm using albums as timelines for events that happen in my life. Hey guys, got a bit of a different video for you all today. I was looking back at my Spotify catalog and my saved albums because my saved albums are the albums that are absolutely skipless in my mind. Like every album on there, I either know the lyrics front to back or I would listen to that album if I had to choose for the rest of my life. So I decided to share some of those with you all. And I'm actually wearing a Jonas Brothers shirt. I've kind of been on a Jonas Brothers kick within the last week or so since JonasCon, which is crazy because I didn't even grow up a fan like that, but listening to their music, and one of their albums is actually on this list. It just fit perfectly for the theme. Also, don't mind the mic. It's kind of a test run, so if the audio sounds terrible, blame the mic. Well, without further ado, let's get into the list. Also, disclaimer, this is not an all-encompassing list for like every album that I've ever listened to in my life. Alright, so I have my trusty little Mac open with my Spotify. You can have a little sneak peek. I'm just going to kind of go through the albums and I'll put the info and stuff that I'm talking about here. Okay, starting with the OG, a classic, a staple in my rotation these days because it has resurfaced my fangirlness for him. My World 2.0, Justin Bieber, released 2010 with 10 songs, which is very modest for, this was not his debut album, but his like second album. But every single one of these songs is a hit, front to back. Memorized them all when I was 13 and I could still recite them to this day. Clearly the most popular song that came from this album is Baby. It's still played to this day. I don't know at what kind of events, maybe like baby showers or something. When people announce their pregnancies, actually. My favorite song from this track list is Somebody to Love. I think I watched that music video growing up a million times. Like I straight up bought it on iTunes to have it on my iPod Touch so that I could watch it whenever I wanted. Like I was obsessed. My favorite song, even still to this day. I would say runner-up would be You Smile because the music video for that song came out on my birthday. So, meant to be. Another classic, Purpose, the deluxe version by Justin Bieber, released in 2015. I did see him in concert for this album, and this was the same tour that I won a meet and greet and got to meet him, and all of my life's dreams had come true up until that point. Just so much lore of my life stemmed from this album in particular. Like I met him, and then he also rehearsed for this tour at my alma mater. His whole team was in my college town, well, future college town at that time. Favorite songs, Life is Worth Living, Get Used to It, and then number 3, I'm probably gonna do Purpose. This whole album is just hard to pick. I love every single song. Honorable mentions, maybe Company, Love Yourself. Oh, this one's hard. This one's hard, I can't pick. Now we have Badlands Deluxe. I'm big on deluxes, if you couldn't tell. It's like I'm not satisfied enough with the original product. I just need a little bit more. Or I just love the album so much that I'll take any additional songs that they put out. Badlands Deluxe by Halsey, released in 2015. I think this is the best album she's ever put out. Are You With The Ball? And I did see her in concert for this, and this was when she was playing small venues. Like I saw her at a small theater in Portland, and the only way that I got to go, I think it was completely sold out, was because I won a radio contest and got tickets that way, because otherwise I don't think I would have seen her, and I'm so glad I did because that was such an amazing experience. Singles from this album, I think, were Colors, which is like OG Tumblr days. Like I think Tumblr romanticized the hell out of this song, and when the music video came out, everything was crazy. Like Colors probably has like the most quotable lyric. This was everyone's like Tumblr picture caption, or I'm sure this was used in so many fanfics back in the day. Literally the impact that this album had. Such a big song. I would probably pick that as like one of my favorites for sure. Castle and New Americana. So I'm gonna go with those 3. Another classic, So 4 Deluxe by One Direction, and it was released in 2014 with 16 songs. This is just one of those albums that I think if I were to lay out albums that defined my fangirlness growing up, if that makes sense. It's the 4 Deluxe album. I would listen to this on my drives to school in the morning. Like, I would play this album religiously. And here's a fun fact. I never saw them in concert, ever. I think it's because tickets were probably expensive, probably hard to get. And I just remember that their concerts were only in stadiums. And the closest stadium to me in Oregon was in Seattle, which was 4 to 5 hours away. I don't think the stars ever aligned for me to see One Direction live in concert, which I wouldn't even say is like a biggest regret of my life, but it's definitely something that I think about every time I listen to this album. Favorite songs here. Clouds for sure. No Control. Oh my gosh, I just added that to my run playlist. And then Where Do Broken Hearts Go? Okay, another album we have is Divide, the deluxe edition by Ed Sheeran. And I did see him in concert for this album. I had the best seats and the best experience. Literally one of my favorite concerts. This whole album, front to back. This is an album that I would gladly listen to for the rest of my life. Eraser, I could probably recite that word for word. Castle on the Hill. Dive is so beautiful. Man, if you have not bothered to check out Ed Sheeran's Divide album, like, this is your sign. It's so good. I have no words. The album speaks for itself when I say that it's just so good. Okay, next we have Shawn Mendes, self-titled, but I believe this is his 3rd album that he came out with. Released in 2018. Oh, released in May of 2018. Oh my gosh, I just remembered where I was when this came out. This album just brings a lot of memories and feelings because I was in a really weird situationship at the time. So associating this album with those memories is just so weird to me. And just like looking back now, I'm like, oh, what was I going through back then? And my favorite songs here, Where Were You in the Morning, Like to Be You, and Falling All in You. Oh wait, Nervous is also so good. Okay, Nervous, Falling All in You, and Where Were You in the Morning. Those are my favorites. Next up we have Made in the AM Deluxe Edition by One Direction, released in 2015. I know this was released in November of 2015. And you know why? Because Justin Bieber released his Purpose album, I want to say the same week that they released this album. Let me see how close it was actually. Yep, they were released the exact same day. You think the Stan wars on Twitter and TikTok and everything are bad now? Like, imagine what it was like back then. We were in the trenches. Everyone was fighting for their life, claiming that one album was going to do better than the other. And in the end, it did, because you know who came out on top? Justin Bieber. Yep, he beat them out for the #1 album, I want to say in the US, but don't quote me. All I remember is that he won. Favorite songs from here: End of the Day, Walking in the Wind, Temporary Fix. 5 Songs of Summer, their debut album. Oh, crazy. I've just always been a 5 Sauce fan, and I originally discovered them on, this is gonna date me like crazy, Pandora. Like, do people still use Pandora? Favorite songs from here: Oof, Good Girls. Oh my gosh, the amount of girls in this era who had good girls or bad girls that haven't been caught in their Instagram bio needs to be studied. So I would say Heartbreak Girl, because that was the OG. I think that's the first song that I found them through. Everything I Didn't Say, Long Way Home. Next up, Happiness Begins by the Jonas Brothers, released in 2019. If I had to pick an album of theirs to listen to for the rest of my life, it would be Happiness Begins. They also released a documentary on Prime Video where it kind of talked about their reunion, because they had broken up and then they came back together. But I mean, can you ever really break up if you're technically blood related? And the documentary just kind of showcased what that road to their reunion looked like. I think I watched the documentary and then I went on YouTube and probably watched like their interviews or something. And then you know what came up in my suggested videos? Them doing a brewery tour at the Coors Light headquarters with none other than these 2 girls known as the host of Chicks in the Office. Oh, and to top it all off, I saw them in concert for this album. Shout out to Marcella because she got the tickets. We were in the pit right side of the stage and we got barricaded. Yep, crazy. They opened their concert with a Roller Coaster, and it has always been one of my favorite songs. Hearing it live was a dream come true. I would say my other favorites would be Don't Throw It Away and Hesitate. Oh, listen to this album if you haven't already. This is like top 10 of my favorite albums ever. I hope you were able to learn a little bit more about me and walk down memory lane with me. That was kind of fun. If you'd like to see more videos related to music or my fangirldom, let me know. I will see you in my next video.